Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. What's that one? 7,000. We're not, that's not bad actually. Right, that one is 8.9 meters, is the other alpine farming one. I got a Kverneland one there, which is 11 meters, it's quite the folded beastie. This one is a big 13 meter. That's the game standard small one at 6 meters, whereas the Alpine one was 4 meters wide. And then you got these. And this one here, this 23,600 Krone, is my absolute favorite for reasons that will become apparent soon, because I'm going to buy this one. I know that we are spending a bit of our money that we wanted to use for other things, but I have my reasons. Okay, so I'm going to buy that one, and then I'm going to jump into you. We're going to go and get the other rake, and we're going to run that up to the farm. The reason that I love that rake so much is because you can turn it to angle one way or another, which means that when you go and you do the outside round on any field, it does it, but it like cleans it up. It doesn't throw stuff out onto the edges and make it all look untidy. It keeps a really neat and tidy job on it. It's absolutely fantastic, and that is why I particularly like it. Now, I suppose really I don't need the front weight for this job, but I'm gonna have the front weight anyway, because it's just easier if I just keep it with the tractor. I want to get this one over to the farm, but I also need to get the combines moving as well. Decisions. I think we will actually get this to the farm, even if we don't start, because I'd like to do the outside edge manually, just to kick everything in a little bit. And I'm actually thinking, because of the amount of times we're probably going to be wanting to do that grass field up there, I'm thinking that it might be a good idea to run the plough up there after this harvest and go and plough the edges of that field. If we were to just extend it out a bit, take the planter back up there after we've done our oat planting down this end, take the planter up there and go and do that and extend the field out just to the edges of where the grass is. I don't want to go ploughing up the tracks around that field. I think that's not going to benefit us. I think we'd be better off just leaving them as they are. But what I do want to do is I want to plough up the edges so that we make use of the grass without having to manually go over and do everything. Because at the moment, we don't get to do that. Right? We do have it, but there's a big strip of grass all the way around the edge of that field that we're not making use of, and I'd like to be able to do that. Right, before I get this one started, we'll go over and we'll deal with these combines. Alright, we'll rush over and we will get the big combine over there. I am on a new recording round, and I've had the absolute delight of tonsillitis for the last 4 or 5 days. So my voice might seem a little bit rougher than normal. I can still talk. I have had tonsillitis before where I've completely lost my voice, which, as you can guess, is a little bit of a nuisance for someone who needs to talk for a living, but fortunately at the moment I have no such issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip back to these combines a second and just start them up. That one's away, and you over here, start you up, and you can just kind of sit there. And then you down this way. I'm going to go chasing after that combine and just take out the rest of it. And then we'll go over to the small combine, and I'll probably just park it up underneath the small combine and leave it there for a minute. We can jump over to the cattle yard and we can get the hay turner running, so that one can get underway and start getting our hay going. And then once we've done that, Well, I guess really we just want to keep these combines going at the moment. I do want to, like I said before, doing the whole ploughing thing on the field up there. That is definitely on the to-do list, so I'm going to make sure that does happen. It's just a question of when that might happen. We've got our straw collection device right there, ready and waiting. Let's get you right here. Now, you're going to start up as well. You'll only go to the end of the row, so what I'm kind of hoping is I can just park here and hopefully be out of the way of the combine. I don't know if it's actually going to work like that, though. He may not. So I'm just going to skip over to this one a second and get it started. The only thing with this one is, I suppose it doesn't actually matter if it kicks the stuff out behind, but I kind of wanted to just use the like whole angle thing on this one because it's really, really cool. So if I I just lowered the front weight. Yeah, I probably don't want to be scooting the front weight along the ground. If I do that a minute, and then what you do is you turn the wheels like that. You use just press and hold the mouse, and you can turn the wheels like that. So if I turn them that way, like that, it brings my hay. You've probably seen me using this one before. I don't know if I must have used it in FS19. I must have. If I haven't, this is one that I used in FS17, and I don't know whether this one was actually available in FS15 or not. I'm not sure. But as far as hay turners go, as far as just grass production in general goes, this is one of my favorite mods. I absolutely love this one because in real life, when you're doing the hay turning on the outside rounds, not everybody does it, but I certainly always used to. I haven't done making hay. I haven't made any hay for quite a long time, mind. But I was used to. I would go around with the revs on a lot lower on the outside round of the field, so that it didn't kick a load of hay out into the side of the field. And nothing would irritate me more than going into a field that someone else had turned and then finding that. Now, you can easily straighten these wheels out. You don't have to try and use the mouse to get them to set right. Just do that and then set it down again, and it'll go on and do that. It's all by its lonesome, like this. Now all I need to do is just back up this way a bit. Let's just have a little bit of overlap over there. And get it to about that point. Yeah, nothing is more irritating to me than having gone into a field where someone has gone round and they haven't slowed down on the edges, especially on the corners, and you get a whole load of hay that's been kicked into the right into the hedge. You can't get it. You can't do anything with it. It absolutely used to frustrate me big time. Like always, that was something that always frustrated me. Really didn't like it, and I can't understand why people would go and do it either. It just made no sense to me. No logical sense whatsoever. Right, I'm going to bring you back out of here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually just pick up that bit right there. Now, what we've done previously with this field is we've used the big old rake, and we've kind of raked everything in together, and it's just kind of been a bit of a mess when it comes to like gathering everything up, but I got a little bit of an idea of how we can do it that's going to make things a little bit tidier this time round. It's not like a major change or anything, but it is another option that we've got on that rake, and I haven't been using it, and I should have been. So, yeah, I think we will actually try and do it this time. Now, I'm going to set the... I've got the hired help already on the setting that I want. I'm going to just leave it for now to go round the outside of the field a couple of times. I know that when he reaches a full tank, he does run on a little bit. We'll just to make sure we get that right, and we don't let it actually fully run on. We have to disengage the hired help and back it completely out. But if I leave it to go and do a couple of times around the outside edge, it'll mean that it'll sort of run things properly in there. Okay, so now I want to go to you. I've only got 1,000 litres of space in here. I was wondering if I should go over to the other combine We've missed a little bit of corn there. Oh well, it's too late now. Go over to the other combine, get a bit out of there, and then jump back over, unload it while that combine puts in the last 1,000 litres back into the combine, and then go again. I don't know if it's going to be... I don't think it's really worth it, so we will... I don't need to unload this one completely, I just need to make enough room for most of what that combine is holding. I can then come down here, we dump all of this in, and then we can go and like swap round and do a little bit more. So if I just unload here, just a bit like that, that'll do. I don't need to do any more than that. Then we'll go around the outside of the crop and then pull up alongside the combine properly. We definitely will not go herring across the middle of the crop field. That would be irresponsible and, quite frankly, it'd be a sackable offence for most people, wouldn't it? It would genuinely be a sackable offence. So we definitely won't go and do anything like that, because that would be quite horrifying. You wouldn't want to witness such a thing. you absolutely... I'm sure of it. I'm sure none of you would want to witness such a thing. Get that 19,000 on there. Right, so he's going to carry on and finish filling up with barley. We are going to go racing off over this way. I've been told that I shouldn't drive around with the spout out on this one, because it's not just the fact that you might hit something, and there is always the danger that you might hit something. It's also that those augers do actually have quite a bit of weight on them, and so you shouldn't drive around with them stuck out, because they tend to bounce up and down a bit, and so that naturally is going to put an awful lot of strain on some of the joints on here, on the hydraulics, and also where it connects to the actual machine. Sort of through the side of the machine right there is putting a lot of strain on that as well. It's going to basically, it's just going to do a lot of damage to the thing right the way through, and we don't really want to do that. We don't want to set out to go and destroy our wonderful, wonderful auger wagon here when we've only just got the thing. So we do need to treat it with a little bit of respect. So we'll fold it up like that whenever we're moving round. Now, I will go to that combo. You can see he's overshot by quite a long way. So what I'm going to do a second, you're all done, you're finished, so we'll come back to you in a minute. What I'm going to do a second is I'm going to jump to that one, and I'm going to disable the hired help. I'm going to back up that far like that, and then I'm going to engage it again, and then we can go over to you, start the engine up again. And we can try this once more. So I'll get some of this unloaded, but I won't get all of it unloaded, because I want to skip over to the other combine as well and start taking some off of that one. And this combine here is very, very slow unloaded. It's painful in how long it takes to unload this one. So I would like to get another bigger combine, but that one's going to wait a little bit. We're going to go and buy a load of cows. We've got that is on our to-do list. I'm sure I had other things that was on my to-do list, my to-buy list, and right now I genuinely can't remember what they were. I think the storage. We need that storage, don't we? That's 180,000 to go and get that, so that we can store straw properly for all of the cows. Like, if we can't store that up properly, we're gonna be in trouble, in us. We're definitely gonna be in trouble, in us. We can't be doing that. So we're gonna have to get 180 grand to go and get the straw storage. I mustn't forget that. I also need the silage bunker, and I have been told by you, the viewers, where the silage bunker used to be. You know what? I need to go in here, and I need to go here. Start landscaping, and I need to head on over to the farm, which is actually this way. I'm going too far. Right. I thought the bunker was here, but the bunker wasn't here at all. The bunker was over here. It was through that bit right there. Someone told me in the comments, and now I think about it, yeah, I remember now. That's where the bunker used to be, and so you could drive right round and go through, but there wasn't actually a road through here when the bunker was in use. I remember now. I remember exactly where it was. It was right there, wasn't it? So, well, I say that I remember. I could just be creating a false memory, which is actually something that you can do. I found out recently, I was watching something about psychology, and it is actually a thing. Someone can go along, and if you don't remember something, or if you remember something a certain way, you could remember it accurately, but then someone comes along and they suggest something different to you, and now everybody say, "Oh, well, that wouldn't happen to me. I got a strong mind." It doesn't matter. It actually happens to something like 99% of people, and the last 1%, it's still not a certainty. Someone suggests that no, it wasn't like that. It was actually a different way completely. It's like completely different to how you remember it. Then they leave it. They don't mention it for a few months. And then they'll go back, and if you don't have anything in the intervening period that is correcting that memory that you've got, you then go along, and they'll go along and they say, "Oh, do you remember how such and such?" And you're then associating your most recent memory. Your most recent memory is the one that's kind of locked in at that point, and that's how you remember it. So someone suggesting that the silage bunker was there next to the manure, I am pretty sure that is right. But someone suggesting that, and me not actually properly remembering, and then that person going along and talking about it again a little while later, I'm more likely to have my memory of where the silage bunker is, where they previously mention it, because that then sort of my memories is sort of being written over, and that's where it is. It's like a big psychology thing, but it is, you can actually change people's memories, and most people are susceptible to this. A lot of people would think that they're not, and a lot of people would, there are people who would get quite upset at the very suggestion that they would be susceptible to memory alteration in such a way. Unfortunately, whether or not you get upset by it has got no impact on whether or not you are susceptible to it, and everybody is susceptible to it to some degree. Everybody is susceptible to it to some degree. You may be able to resist it a bit, and it does depend on the memory in question. It does depend on that. If your memory of something is very strong and very specific, there's a very good chance that you won't be able to have that memory kind of hijacked by someone suggesting that something might be different. However, if the memory is older, or perhaps a little bit faded, or for whatever reason is no longer 100% accurate in your mind, then you will indeed become extremely susceptible to this kind of suggestive reasoning type situation. And the whole idea of this just fascinates me. It really does. I find it absolutely amazing that such a thing could even be a thing, that you're able to sort of suggest things like that to a person and it actually work as well. Right, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to switch that one over to the AI vehicle extension switched off. We'll just go with normal hired help. So that one's going to run down there. I'm moving it over in case there's any kind of like bits stuck out the side further up, and we don't need to worry about it. So I know the other combine is now reaching full. I'm going to go and empty this one here first. Then we will swing on round and get that small combine while this combine here just finishes off this field. Might actually use the big combine here to help finish out the small field so that we're not having to run up and down the hill too much, at least not for a minute. And yeah, I don't know at the moment. I've also got the straw to go and pick up, and I need to go back over to our hay and do some raking over there. So I need to bring the hay turner. Well, actually, don't need to bring the hay turner all the way back, because that's the only place that we're going to be using it. So the hay turner is going to be parked up over there so that we can use it on that side. And then we will bring the We'll get the rake over there. I'm thinking possibly we will go and do the hay before we do raking here on the straw. And we can, because I can go and pick up some stuff here with the straw anyway. That's not going to be any terrible hardship for us. So if I was going to say if I park this one up underneath the small combine, but I'm not sure that's entirely such a good idea. I will a little bit, so we can start getting the other tractor back. So if I just leave you there a second, and then I jump over here quickly, I can... no, I want to fold that one up, don't I? I want to do that. We'll fold this one up, and we'll park this one up over there. A little tiny bit of grass there that didn't get turned. Oh, it's a bit late now. If we take this one over here, we'll park it up. Actually, no, I won't park it there. I'll park it round behind the buildings over there with our other stuff. And I don't need to take the rake at all. Completely forgot that I actually already have a rake here that we can use. So I don't need to go anywhere at all for that. I can just go right here. All we need is a tractor over here to be able to use the machinery. The thing that we are going to want, the thing that we are going to need is something to gather up the hay. We are going to want one of those. So we could go and buy another small wagon and have that up here, or we have to use the one that we've got back at the main yard and just run up here with that one. So I now need to do the raking, which means unhitching. Let me switch over to you. Unhitching this one, like that. Get that rake on, and then I'm going to just set that one going and walk away and leave it. So I'll grab you. Set this one running, and then I'll jump back over to the farm and we'll carry on doing there. We've got a combine that is finished. I think he just finished the field, didn't he? Pretty sure he did. Start you up there. That's going in that direction, is it? Okay, so I'll start on this side. I love the sound of it. I do. I really love the sound. It sounds very realistic for something that's got a load of tines on it. Like that kind of like cycling up and down as well. It sounds very, very realistic, that does. That is very cool. I genuinely love that. Right, why are you lifting up and lifting down again? What? Why would you do that? Seriously, why would you do that? You know, I give up. I'm just going to leave you to carry on with what you do, man. Whatever you need to do, I give up at this point. That combine's over there working on that stretch, so I'm going to bring this one over here so that I can just shave a bit off this field for it and make life a little bit easier. So I'll bring you to about that point, I think, and go whoosh off up through there. Big old lump of straw right there, but that's fine. So you can do a couple of passes on there. You're whizzing back down through this way and gathering up everything that we want on there. So I'm going to go to this beastie here, get it unloaded so that then we can come back out and get these combines unloaded one more time. And then they can get up to the top two fields. Just wondering if I should stop the big combine at the bottom of the field and send it up. No, I won't, actually. I'm going to let that one run another pass. He has got a little bit over there that he's got and missed. So if I put you out here, like that, I need to wait till he does unfold, just in case he decides to give up with the unfolding. And then I will go to you right here and stop that. I'm going to run over here, and I'm going to get those couple little bits, because they're good. I know there's another bit over in the other field. I may go back and get that. Did he get that bit? I think he did, actually. Ideal. Right. And lift that up. There. And now we come whizzing over here, and we can send you back up this row. We're on 66% full right now. I want a little bit more than that. He's full up the other end. Right, so I'll set you in there. Off you go. You're done. You are empty already. I do love how quickly this one empties out. It is very good like that. Are you going to get all the way to the other end of the field before you completely filled up? Before you are completely filled up? I'm not sure. Touch and go on that one. Main reason that I don't want both the combine sort of separate up and down the hill is because we'll struggle to keep up with it with this one. If we do that. If we go and move it like that, we're going to struggle to keep up with it with this beastie right here. So I'm going to bring you under there. You're going now. You here. What is... I'm not entirely sure what it's doing. Like these... Is it still pulling rows down? Which is a full grain tank. I think it is. Just they're oddly spaced. Oh, that's why. It's because it's turning round and then it's moving the entire row over. It's not quite working how... Actually, no, because I suppose... No, it's working the field. It is actually doing what it's supposed to do, I think. Technically. It's got it on a technicality there, but it is kind of doing what it's supposed to be doing. You've emptied out, which means I can go and take this one. We're facing the wrong way. I've got to go and get that combine over there unloaded. I will park up straight underneath that combine, and actually, you know what? We won't. I will just go under a little bit, take some of it, and I do have to drop it down to 80% for the combine to move, don't I? So we will make sure we do that. 90, 85. I've been asked several times. I think I already said, actually. I keep getting asked about the mod in the top left, and I thought that it was on the mod hub. Apparently it's not. It's on Mod Hoster. But I've gone and stuck a link on our Discord channel, so there's a link on there. If you want to go and find it, you can. And that will take you to the Mod Hoster page where you can actually use that. It's the top left-hand corner, Glance. I think it's called Glance. No, Vehicle Inspector. It's not Glance. Glance was the last iteration in the last game. Vehicle Inspector it's now called, but it is brilliant. It's absolutely useful, and I cannot fathom for the life of me why that is not something that is integrated in the base game. I've been using that mod or a version of that mod since I was playing in FS15. They could have had a mod like that in FS13, but I didn't really use much in the way of mods then. I used a few for just like altering capacity of things, but I didn't really do much else with mods back then. So like, I know I'm playing this series kind of like how I used to play, but it was all about me just finding things and then altering the capacities, and I stuck with the base game machines. So I don't know if there was any like delicious extras like that existed in the game or not. There could very well have been, but I didn't actually use any at all. Now, how much space have we got? You know, I'm going to just quickly switch over to you, and I'm going to stop you there, and you are actually ready to go on up to the next field. So I think we will put the AI extension going on you. So I don't really need to, but I am going to. I'm going to use the AI extension on it. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put this one going on the big field. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.